Welcome to Ping 24 Updates. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Tonight, on the shimmering blue expanse of the South China Sea, a new reality is taking shape. It's being built with concrete, steel, and a defiant spirit. We are on Pagasa Island, a remote Philippine territory now at the heart of a high-stakes geopolitical drama. Once a forgotten outpost, Pagasa is now alive with the sounds of construction. Manila is drawing a literal line in the sand, transforming the island into a symbol of sovereignty aimed at Beijing's ambitions. The air is thick with tension and purpose. Soldiers and workers know what's at stake. They're building more than infrastructure. They're building the Philippines' future in contested waters. This is no longer about fishing rights or lines on a map. It's a physical assertion of national identity. Every bag of cement, every steel beam, sends a message. We are here. We are not leaving. This transformation is the result of a deliberate decision by the Philippine government to act, not just react. For years, Manila watched as China built artificial islands. Now, the tables are turning. The Philippines is reinforcing its claims with modern infrastructure. This is a story of a nation pushing back, using development and defense to secure its place in a region on edge. The world is watching what happens on this tiny but significant island. Pagasa Island is the South China Sea in miniature, a place of beauty and a flashpoint for conflict. The calm waters can turn treacherous in an instant, both literally and politically. The new runway and port are more than projects. They're the front line in a struggle for control. This is a test of wills between a determined nation and a global superpower. The outcome will ripple far beyond these shores. For decades, Pagasa Island was a lonely sentinel in the West Philippine Sea. Its small community lived with scarcity and isolation. Its airstrip a crumbling dirt runway, its pier barely functional. That era is over. Pagasa has been reborn as a strategic hub at the forefront of national defense. The old runway is now a modern concrete airstrip, able to handle large military aircraft. This is a game changer, allowing rapid deployment of troops and supplies deep into the South China Sea. The island is now an active forward operating base, not just a listening post. The transformation is the centerpiece of a broader national strategy. The government realized a symbolic presence wasn't enough. Pagasa needed to be a credible deterrent. The upgrades send a clear signal. The Philippines is committed to defending its rights under international law. This is a shift from passive defense to active resilience. Pagasa is now a cornerstone of a strategy called active archipelagic defense. The new status isn't just about hardware, it's about morale. Soldiers and civilians here feel the government's support. They are no longer forgotten. They're on the front line of a national priority. The sound of a C-130 landing is the sound of a nation's resolve. Pagasa is now a fortress with a purpose. The scale of investment in Pagasa Island signals its new strategic importance. The most visible project, a 1.3-kilometer concrete runway, enabling reliable access for larger aircraft. This changes the operational calculus for the armed forces of the Philippines. Alongside the runway, a new naval port now accommodates larger Navy and Coast Guard vessels, allowing for sustained patrols and safer resupply. New barracks, power generation, and upgraded communications support a long-term presence. Each structure is a physical assertion of Philippine sovereignty. In a region where China builds artificial islands, the Philippines is reinforcing its claims with concrete and steel. This is a non-aggressive demonstration of control and administration. The infrastructure itself becomes a visible deterrent. The upgrades on Pagasa Island are a direct response to China's expansion in the South China Sea. The new infrastructure transforms Pagasa into a critical shield and forward observation post. Enhanced surveillance lets the military monitor Chinese activities in real time and document aggressive actions. The runway extends the Air Force's reach. Fighter jets can now operate from Pagasa, providing air cover and rapid response. The new port allows the Navy and Coast Guard to maintain a persistent presence, countering gray zone tactics like swarming and harassment. A stronger naval footprint means better protection of the exclusive economic zone. Pagasa is now key to upholding the 2016 arbitral ruling that invalidated China's 9-dash line. By strengthening its presence, Manila shows it will not cede control of its maritime entitlements. Pagasa is now a bastion of international law. Pagasa Island sits at the epicenter of one of the world's most complex territorial disputes. The Spratlys are claimed by 6 parties, but China's sweeping 9-dash line is the most expansive and destabilizing. The Philippines has been on the front lines, its fishermen harassed, its navy outmatched. The 2016 Hague ruling was a legal victory for Manila, but China has ignored it and doubled down on its actions. Manila is not just building on an island, it's trying to enforce a legal victory in the face of persistent defiance. Other claimants, like Vietnam, also contest Pagasa, but the main threat remains Beijing. China's scale and speed set it apart from all others. The disputes create a volatile environment where a minor incident could escalate quickly. Pagasa's new military capabilities are both a deterrent and a potential trigger. The island is now a focal point in a tense maritime space. The urgency behind Pagasa's upgrades is clear when you look at its neighborhood. Just 14 nautical miles away, China's Subi Reef has become a massive military base, part of a network of artificial islands forming a ring of steel around Pagasa. These fortresses have shifted the regional balance of power, letting China project military might across the sea. Swarms of Chinese militia vessels and constant Coast Guard patrols now surround Pagasa, intimidating Filipino fishermen and challenging supply missions. This is coercion without firing a shot, a slow squeeze to push the Philippines out of its own waters. The defenders of Pagasa live in the shadow of a superpower's military machine. The upgrades are not aggression but survival, a modest counterweight to overwhelming force. The new runway and port give the Philippines a better chance to stand its ground and call for help if needed. It's a David and Goliath struggle. Pagasa Island is right on the front line. Beyond the soldiers, Pagasa Island is home to a small but resilient civilian community. Their presence is a powerful statement. Pagasa is not just a garrison but a functioning Filipino municipality. The civilian population is crucial to the Philippines' claim of sovereignty. Infrastructure upgrades have transformed daily life. Reliable power, better access to food and medicine, safer harbors for fishing boats. For these families, improvements are life-changing, making their existence more secure. But living on the front line brings anxiety. Chinese vessels offshore are a constant reminder of tension. Fishermen are wary of venturing far, and the sound of military aircraft is both comfort and warning. Yet, the community remains a quiet act of patriotism. The government supports them with subsidies and services, aiming to grow the population and strengthen the claim. These residents are the first line of defense. Their daily lives are as vital to sovereignty as any warship. Pagasa's heart beats with civilian resolve. Pagasa's transformation is part of a broader Philippine effort to strengthen its western defense. The strategy includes upgrading outposts and deepening military ties with allies, especially the United States. Balabac Island at Palawan's southern tip is being upgraded with U.S. support, enhancing surveillance over key sea lanes. With strong hubs in Pagasa and Balabac, the Philippines can monitor the contested waters from north and south. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement allows for U.S. rotational presence and pre-positioned equipment, boosting deterrence. Smaller outposts are also being reinforced, despite Chinese blockades. The Philippines is determined to maintain its presence on every feature it occupies. Together, these outposts form a defensive chain for the archipelago. Pagasa's new runway and port are more than local upgrades. They're a move on the Indo-Pacific chessboard. The Philippines' bold investment is sending ripples across the region, shifting the balance of power. For years, China's expansion went unchecked. Now there's determined pushback. The upgrades strengthen the U.S.-Philippine alliance, making the Philippines a more capable security partner. Facilities on Pagasa and other sites enable joint operations and crisis response, reinforcing the Mutual Defense Treaty. This signals to China that the alliance has real operational depth, raising the costs of aggression. For Pagasa's civilians, the future is a mix of hope and uncertainty. Better living standards but greater risk. Their resilience will be tested as tensions ebb and flow. They are pioneers on a frontier shaped by national and international forces. The concrete and steel on Pagasa mark a pivotal moment. The Philippines has drawn a line in the sea, reinforcing its claims with action. The move won't resolve disputes overnight, but it's changed the dynamic. As the sun sets, Pagasa's lights shine as a beacon of defiance and hope.